Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sims 3 Warrior Cats Challenge. So today I didn't do a intro story because I'm really tired. But yeah, today we are back in Broken Clan. I'm actually recording this straight after the last episode of Broken Clan, so I haven't actually gone back to Honey Clan yet. Because I just wanted to. Honey Clan was being a bit glitchy, so I decided I would come and record with Broken Clan for one episode, get that out, try and sort some stuff out with Honey Clan. So yeah, Silverfoot, what are you doing? You're so cute. Okay. Oh, you're gonna search for prey. Okay. Oh, Tumblekitt's interacting with Ivy Claw. Are you loving your mum? Yeah, you're socializing with your mum. What? Okay, Waspkit, what are you doing? Meteor. Silverfoot? Stop hunting. You two, what are you doing? Don't play if there's a meteor. What? These can go in the bin. I don't need newspapers. Is there a meteor? There's a meteor. Blackberry? Blackberry, where are you? How did Blackberry spot a meteor? Or maybe she didn't. Maybe I'm just reading that wrong. What's happening, Blossom? Don't run away from meteors. We do not want to be blown up by meteors. Go here. Branchclaw. Branchclaw, where are you? No. I'm refusing the cats to go and look at meteors. Right, Silverfoot, take control of the situation. Get everyone away from the meteor. Away from the meteor. Right, Blossom. Everyone away from the meteor. Away from the meteor. Away from the meteor. Okay. Everyone's away from the meteor. Silverfoot. Silverfoot, run. Run, Silverfoot. Stop trying to... No, we are not going to be blown up. Plumripple, stop interacting. Everyone, run. Goldenpaw, don't interact with Broken Star. I'm sorry, Tumblekitt. You can't be interacting with your mother. We just need to run away from the meteor. Feathertail, please. Please, everyone, please run. Actually, Blackberry, you're fine. You're not near the meteor, but run. I know I'm not playing, but that's because I'm trying to stop everyone from being blown up by a meteor. Silverfoot, please. Please, Silverfoot. Silverfoot, please move. Yay. Blackberry reached hunting skill level 5. This is not the time, Blackberry. Silverfoot. Silverfoot! Where is this meteor coming from? Where is the meteor? There is a meteor, like, flying. What the? Silverfoot. No, I didn't want to keep him going in that mode of game. Silverfoot, move. I'll do it again. Please get out the way. Everyone. I missed Feathertail. I didn't mean to do that. Everybody, please move out of the way. Go. Yikesy, kamikesy, that was close. Right. Well, that's changed the subject. And Thornpaw, that's Ivyclaw. Ivyclaw, you did not get blown up by a meteor. That makes me very happy. I will be back in a second. Okay, so this video is gonna mostly be story, I guess. Oh dear. Well, I do hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Silverfoot was resting on the edge of camp, watching the kits play and the others go about their daily business. He glanced up and was surprised to see a star shining brightly, despite it being the middle of the day. As he watched the star, it seemed to grow in size and came closer to camp. With a sinking feeling, he realized it was not a star. It was a meteor, and it was heading right for them. He leapt to his feet. "Everybody, run!" All heads snapped towards him, and saw him on his feet pushing Goldenpaw. The clan responded to their deputy and ran as fast as they could, Queen's guiding Kit and Ivyclaw with her little she-kit in her mouth. The tiny Kit was struggling and mewing, unaware of what was happening around her, as she could not see, but she could hear the cries of her littermates and her clan. From the sky, rock and fire fell, raining down on them. The forest was still dry, and the flames leapt to it. The warrior's den was burning brightly, and the prey pile was no more. Terror ran throughout the camp. The kits were crying, and the cats were running this way and that. Dapplepelt took control of the females' kits and apprentices, herding them to the far side of the field. The smoke was thickening, making eyes stream and lungs burn. One of Plumripple's kits tumbled over and tripped over his own paws, landing face first in the dirt. He stumbled to his feet, now crying for his mother, who was further along the path, searching manically for him, calling loudly. She started to head back to camp, determined the fire had trapped her kit. Close to her, a branch snapped and crackled, blazing to the ground, singeing her whiskers and making her leap back. Her calls only grew more frantic as she looked for her lost kit. Dapplepelt spotted him through the smoke, lying on the ground. She dashed over, scooped him up and carried him to safety. "I've got him, Plumripple! He's here!" Even from a distance, she could see her friend had heard her. Plumripple gathered up her remaining kit and dashed the short distance as branches burnt around her. She ran as fast as she ever had to the far side of the field before collapsing onto the ground, coughing and spluttering. Each breath felt like the fire was in her chest. As the cool air entered her lungs, it soothed her pelt. Dapplepelt brought over her other kit, and she set about licking him and his brother, not sure if she was soothing them or herself. Dapplepelt continued checking on the other queens and kits and apprentices. Where was Violetpaw? She scanned the field, and to her horror saw her young apprentice collapsed just clear of the forest. She ran over to her. Violetpaw was laying unconscious in the dirt. She had been inside of the den when the meteor debris had landed. The bushes and bedding had gone up in flames, with the youngster trapped inside. She had tried to push through the wall and had suffered many burns to her face and down the length of her tail. Where the fur was still smouldering. She had made it most of the way clear before the smoke and pain had become too much for her, and she had collapsed whilst running. Dapplepelt called for help. The fire was creeping ever closer to them both. Feathertail ran over, and the pair of them tried to shift her. But she was a dead weight, and the fire licked ever closer to the cats. "See if you can push her from behind, Feathertail. I'm going to try and pull her by one of her front paws. Her burns are too severe to use her scruff." Dapplepelt took hold of an unburnt front paw and pulled, whilst Feathertail nosed under her hind leg, trying to avoid contact with her tail that was raw and charred. She could hear the crackle of the fire, but with her head down could not see anything. She tried to ignore the sound of the blaze and the ever-growing panic, and tried to concentrate on moving the young apprentice. But she was almost fully grown, and even with them working together, it was taking too long. Little by little, they pulled her further into the field until they were both close to collapsing. Ivyclaw was soon there with Branchclaw to help. Move her as gently as you can. Her burns are severe. And Feathertail, come and see me as soon as possible. Your ear looks bad as well. Feathertail suddenly realised there was a sobbing pain in one of her ears. She had been too focused on moving Violetpaw to notice when the flames had got too close, burning the fur and making it curl. She tried to soothe it by grooming herself. It could wait. He thought Ivyclaw had much more serious problems to think about right now. Silverfoot was scouting for stragglers, making sure everyone was safe. All the cats seemed to have made it out of camp, but where was their leader? He looked about, hoping he was wrong and he would see him helping someone else, but he wasn't there. Broken Star? He yelled as loudly as he could, expecting a response, but nothing came. Has anyone seen Broken Star? He was beginning to become more worried. Where was he? Everyone else was here, so he couldn't be helping anyone, and nobody had seen him. Silverfoot looked back towards camp. There was only one place he could be, back there. Without a second thought, he dashed down the path. The smoke was thick now, and he lay low, trying to avoid the most of it. He could barely see anything and relied mostly on memory to find his way back. He tried to call for Broken Star, but he was having trouble breathing, let alone shouting. The fire crackled loudly, and it drew even closer every second. He searched frantically, but his eyes were streaming, and everything had changed. Where there was supposed to be scratching trees, now there were just flames and smouldering piles of ash. He was running out of time. He knew if he didn't get out soon, he would become a victim to the fire. Should he continue looking for his friend, or should he head back to the clan, who needed a leader right now? He was torn. For a split second, there was a break in the smoke, and he took in a deep breath. He took it as a sign from StarClan. He would search until he could search no more. Silverfoot looked about to and from, looking for any sign of his friend, but he could see nothing. He was running out of time. His chest was growing tight, and he knew if he didn't get out now, he wouldn't make it back to the others. With a heavy heart, he turned back to the entrance to the camp. But just as he reached the edge, he heard a faint cough coming from the warrior's den. All that he could see was burning branches and smoke. Surely nothing could survive in there. But there it was again, and again. A cough. He struggled to try and pinpoint the sound, and with all of his available breath, he called out for Broken Star, but this time he was certain he could hear a faint response. Silverfoot quickly ran towards the sound, dodging the flames and ignoring the pain in his paws as they burned. He found Broken Star laying on the ground, behind a rock where he was partially protected from the fire. Silverfoot, thanks StarClan! I thought it was my time to join them. The leader's voice was croaky from inhaling the smoke, but Silverfoot could clearly hear the relief of being found. Something's caught my hind leg. I can't get free and my paw's gone numb. Silverfoot made his way behind the rock and took an involuntary breath of air as he saw what had the leader pinned. It was a large piece of debris, hot from its descent down to earth. It had obviously reacted in some way to the fire, as it was like nothing he had ever seen before. Instead of the smooth, round edges he was used to, it was hard and sharp. It had landed directly on the leader's hind leg. I think I can move it, Broken Star, but I'll need you to pull through. I'm not going to be able to hold it for long. The leader nodded, and Silverfoot braced himself against the sharp rock's edges and began to count down. 3, 2, 1, move! He pushed with all his might, the sharp edges digging into his pelt and deeper still, nicking him across his flank. It was like having 100 tiny scratches all at once, searing across his side. And yet he continued to push as hard as he could, determined to move the rock, trapping his friend. He felt a little give in the object and pushed as hard as his body would let him. He could hear his own breath, rasping from the effort. And with one final hard push, he put all his body weight behind it and felt himself stagger a couple of steps forward as the rock moved. At the same time, he heard a scream come from Broken Star. As it lifted, pain seared through his leg, and he saw stars for a couple of moments. Trying to stay present, he used his front paws to dig into the soft earth, pulling himself free. The pain was almost unbearable, but with the knowingness that he had only one chance of survival, it spurred him on. His claws raked against the soil. Inch by inch, little bit by little bit, he clawed himself out. With a crash, the rock landed back on the ground as Silverfoot used up the rest of his energy, just clear of where the leader's body once was. Silverfoot rushed back to Broken Star. He was lying on the ground still, head spinning from pain and exertion of trying to free himself. Silverfoot couldn't help but gasp as he saw him. "That bad?" Broken Star asked, faintly. Your leg!" Silverfoot couldn't help but be horrid at the sight. It's... Silverfoot, I can feel it's bad. We need to get out of here, and I need Ivyclaw. The fire's closing in faster, and my head's spinning. Silverfoot carefully helped the leader up, trying not to look at his leg. The rock had landed mid-thigh, and with one sharp edge facing down, cut through the muscle and bone. Where there once stood a powerful limb, now there was only a stump. The only saving grace had been the rock had been so hot when it had landed, it had seared all the muscles and blood vessels, or else Silverfoot expected the leader would have bled to death long before he had found him. Broken Star leant heavily on him as the pair moved throughout the burning camp, gasping with every step as pain jolted through his body. It seemed like a lifetime, and Silverfoot expected debris to fall at any more moment, sealing their fate and blocking their path. But StarClan was watching them, and slowly but surely they made their way to the edge of the forest and to the field in safety. Finally they burst through the smoke and smouldering branches and into the open, clean air, gasping for the fresh feeling it gave them. Within seconds the rest of the clan was gathering around them, helping them both. Ivyclaw pushed her way through to the front. "This way, bring them over here." Ivyclaw had made a makeshift medicine cat den as far away from the camp as she possibly could. She had gathered what she could find and knew that there would be injuries to treat. She had mustered up some bedding out of the few pieces of moss, twigs and leaves on the ground to try and make her patients a little more comfortable. She had no idea how many injuries there would be or what she needed to treat them, but she did know it would be a while until they could head back to the gorge they called home. She just hoped her skill would be enough. All she had to work with was a rainbow beetle, a few herbs Petalpaw had brung her a couple of days ago from Blossom, and a plasma bug. Thank goodness she had been too busy to properly store them, and they were laying around as she ran out of camp. It wasn't much to work with, and she had hoped she wouldn't have to use any of them. She wouldn't have much time to collect more. Maybe she could send someone else out, but dismissed the thought. She didn't want to put any of the other cats in danger. Broken Star's hiss of pain brought her back to the present moment, as he was settled into the moss nest next to her. Breaking through her thoughts and bringing her back to what she had had to do. She hadn't got a proper look at the leader yet. When him and Silverfoot had returned, all the cats had rushed over to them, and she hadn't got a good look at him until he entered the den. She shooed all the other cats out and took a deep breath in as she saw the extent of his injuries. How was he still alive, let alone conscious? Had he used another one of his lives? She took a closer look, and to her relief, it was not as bad as she had originally thought. Broken Star lifted his head slightly to see what she was doing, and was glad that she did not seem as worried as the others. They had all been so concerned for him. Ivyclaw, what happened? My hind leg hurts so much and I can't feel my paw. Nobody would tell me what has happened to me until I saw you. Ivyclaw composed herself. How to tell him? This was the hardest part of being a medicine cat. Well, it's not as bad as I first thought, Broken Star. She saw him look more hopeful and realised he had no idea what had happened to him. She had to tell him, whilst your leg is not life-threatening, but... She paused for a second. Broken Star, your hind leg has been crushed by the rock. I know that much, Ivyclaw. How long until I can get on my paws? The clan needs a leader more than ever around now. Even stuck in the medicine cat's den, his first priority was his clan. No, that's not what I mean. Broken Star, your leg's been completely crushed. It's gone. The rock cut clean through it. As she spoke, he sank back down, the words sinking in. How is this not as bad as you thought, Ivyclaw? I have lost a leg. I am a 3-legged cat. How am I supposed to leave my clan with 3 legs? Silverfoot should have just left me there. His voice was full of pain and anger. She knew nothing she could say was going to help. He would have to come to terms that StarClan had saved him for some reason, and all she could do was care for him until then. She passed him some valerian. Here, Broken Star, this will help. Will it grow my leg back? He said angrily, hissing at her. She had no idea why he was acting like this, and drew back, hurt and scared. She was only trying to do what she had been called on to do. And without Petalpaw here, she was the only one that could do it. The expression on her face must have said it all. Broken Star was immediately contrite. I'm sorry, Ivyclaw. I know it's not your fault, but everything hurts, and I'm not sure how I'm going to go on. He sounded broken and scared. She came close and rested her head comfortingly on his. How am I going to lead our clan? We have lost our home temporarily, and the cold of Leaf Bear has come. We have kits to care for. This was more the cat she remembered and respected. Maybe there was hope for him after all. It's valerian, Broken Star. It will help you sleep and it will ease the pain. It's the best I can do at the moment. Ivyclaw seemed apologetic, but Broken Star was quick to reassure her. I know you're doing the best you can without an apprentice. We are so lucky to have a medicine cat as talented as you. I trust you, Ivyclaw. He took the herb, and she sat and watched him as it took effect. His eyes closed. His breath became more gentle and less rasping. And just as he was about to fall into a deep, healing sleep, he spoke again. Go treat the others, Ivyclaw. There must be more injured. I know StarClan is watching me. If I am still here, there must be a reason. I just need to trust they will show me. And with that, he fell into a deep sleep.